just freaks that like self-expressing. Goths have no other way in society but to be overly polite in public places. Am I a creep? Well, you're in the goth scene, like, weird. One more interesting aspects that I want to pinpoint is music taste. So apart from loving goth music, which is obviously it's the main thing in the subculture, I also noticed that many goths are generally just rockers, metalheads, and many of us also love industrial music. I'm personally a rocker, metalhead. I think that's obvious because to get into goth scene, you would have to go through rock and metal scene, and actually gothic rock, it's rock by the way, it's like a subgenre of rock, so you have to enjoy rock in some way to be into gothic rock. Let's say gothic metal is controversial, okay, some people don't consider it to be goth music. However, I don't care that much about this topic, I'm not gonna discuss it now. Regardless of whether it's goth or non-goth music, many goths do enjoy gothic metal, that's for sure. So I've noticed some goths do hate or do criticize metal in general, and many goths say like, oh, we're not like metalheads, we listen to goth music, we love goth music, metalheads don't understand us, they are a different scene. However, I think that alternative people in general have a lot in common to do with each other. So as a goth, I do enjoy some emo or punk songs sometimes, or metal. Obviously, I listen to a lot of metal. General rock that is not related to gothic rock, death rock, just normal rock. I don't know, like maybe some old rock of 60s or some other genres, but goth genres of rock. So you get my idea. So we listen to lots of different music. An obvious idea that many people have repeated in the goth scene, that you don't have to listen exclusively to the goth music. And like I said, many people started from many genres to get into goth music, and many of us still keep loving these genres. And also some girly pop metal bands like Slipknot or Korn. Obviously they're not girly pop, but there's just a meme on the internet. It's a very stupid meme because, well, where did you take this idea? What does Slipknot or Korn have to do with like girly pop? I just really genuinely don't get it. Just because it's popular, well, that's kind of a dumb position, I'm sorry. However, goth music obviously means the world to me, so it's like the first place in my playlist, is my most listen to music, so that's why I'm goth. Obviously not emo, not punk, not just rock or metalhead, but I'm a goth specifically because that's just what makes me crazy. That's just what makes me wanna leave. I mean, goth music. One of the things that makes me wanna leave. Sorry for being maybe cheesy or being pretentious if it sounds pretentious to you, but that's just how it is. I'm super passionate about goth music, goth subculture, everything about goth. That's just who I am, that's just why I love being goth. I've also meant to add that many goths are into industrial music. I believe some gothic band just sound kind of somewhat similar to industrial, and also I've noticed that many goths do say that they are into black metal. I think that that's just also kind of a common tendency because industrial, it sounds kind of harsh, it sounds kind of edgy. I don't know a lot about industrial music, I'm sorry, but that's just what I think from what I've listened to. And also black metal is also kind of sounds harsh, and it's also very dark, kind of depressive. There is also like a genre, depressive, suicidal black metal. I listen to some of black metal songs, however I wouldn't call myself a black metal head because that's not my go-to genre. I honestly prefer gothic metal and doom metal over black metal, but I also do listen to black metal sometimes. And as for industrial, it's not my thing, but yeah, I think that's a general tendency among other goths. Also, there is one thing like alternative appearance. For example, I would say that as alternative people, goths would love to have alternative appearance. They would love to have piercings, tattoos, dyed hair, or maybe something else. I don't know. I don't know all of the kinds of alternative appearance, but as any alternative person, goths want to have those things. Even though many goths do dye their hair black, some goths, however, do dye other, I don't know, bright colors. So that doesn't make you less of a goth, and I think that's a really common tendency. Despite what I've just said, don't come to goths and don't ask them some weird questions. It's alright to ask if you have any piercings or tattoos, but that's just a bit of frequent question to be asked as an alternative person. It's kind of stereotypical, I would say. Don't come to people saying like, oh, you would look so cool with belly piercing, you should do tattoo, you should do this, you should do that. I mean, leave us alone. Let us decide what we want to do with our body, and not all people obviously want to have alternative things in their periods. I know some alternative people that don't have neither of these alternative body modifications and don't want to do them. However, as for me, if you're curious, I don't have any of these things right now, neither dyed hair, no piercings, no tattoos, no anything like for that matter, but I really want to do tattoos pretty badly. I want to dye my hair also, however I don't really want piercings, not that much, but yeah. I've also dyed my hair sometimes. I can sneak some pics here of how I dyed my hair. However, at the moment it is not dyed, but I hope to do it in the future. That's a sad thing to add, but since most of us did it alternative for a good reason, so we had hard time fitting in, we had hard time interacting with people, socializing, making friends, especially in teenage. So many of us were bullied in the past, in school, in other places, maybe even within their family, whatever, but I think that's a very common experience. I've heard GOTHs and other people to confess these things a lot online, and I would be honest with you to confess I have also been bullied in my school before getting into GOTHs, because like I said, I started dressing like that pretty recently, but in my school I also had suffered from bullying, from stupid jokes and some kind of harassing behavior, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do about it sometimes. I've heard it a lot back in the day. Some people just tell you like, you did wrong, you did this, you did that, you provoke them, you're this kind of person, they can't bully you for no reason. There's no reason that you come to this place and that place and you get bullied in several places. No, it could be, it definitely could be, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You're never, if you're a victim of bullying, you never could be like the wrong person to provoke this bullying. Even if you do some disputable things socially, I don't know, like for example, we had a boy in our school who, I believe he ratted on others or something like that, but even in this case it's not right to beat him up so that this boy ended up in the hospital. It's not right to respond with violence. Might be a controversial take, but I don't actually consider it right to bully people anyway and to respond with violence. You consider that the other person is kind of misbehaving, behaving in the wrong way, so kind of leave them be. So it's like their choice to do whatever they do, and it's your choice to cut yourself back from doing some hasty action. So I'm kind of firmly against bullying. And by the way, yeah, it's kind of like I have the new appearance, the new angles. I'm like experimenting with angles and with the appearance. Obviously I wouldn't look similar in every video, so I kinda had to record the end for this video on the other day with a different kind of fit, so that's why I look like that, and that's why I see them in a different place. So yeah, check out my aunt. Sorry for my makeup, it's just like weird, I know. So well, you're in the goth scene, like weird. Well, that's what kind of what you would expect goth to look with, like this kind of weird makeup. I would call it like I haven't slept in a week, which is like weirdly relatable because I don't really sleep many hours recently, and I don't feel too bad about it. I'm quite an energetic person for no reason. I just don't know why. Well, I have some theories why, but whatever. I won't ramble about myself now. And also sorry if my head is a tad dirty. I don't know if you could see that, but you'd better not. Continuing with our topic, having hard time fitting in typically derives from the term of alternative, which is kind of implies that you're different, and also it kind of related to bullying, because people normally bully the ones that don't fit in, they are somewhat like different. I obviously not a psychiatrist, I don't want to diagnose anyone with anything, but I've noticed that a lot of alternative people are kind of neurodivergent, so they say a lot about it. Watch a lot of goth and alter reels on Instagram, and then for no reason Instagram starts recommending me neurodivergent reels, so like things that are relatable for people with ADHD, autism and stuff. Like I'm not even officially neurodivergent. I suspect I might be, but I won't haste with the decision, so I suspect I might be neurodivergent, but I'm not diagnosed as neurodivergent. Some of my friends, some of people I know who are also alternative, they might be neurodivergent as well, while they are not also officially diagnosed. I just noticed that many people who are alternative or GOTH, they claim to be neurodivergent. So look, I don't want to generalize it as a common tendency, but I do tend to think that it could happen. It would make sense that we don't fit in, that we kind of similar to each other and different to many people, many other people. I don't want to act like, oh, we're so different, we're so unique for being alternative GOTH. I don't act like that, but I just meant to make my point that I'm noticing it is to be kind of a tendency. While I personally, I agree that I have hard time fitting in. I'm like 23 years old now, and I don't know if I look like a kid, but or a teen. I'm actually an adult, a boring adult who has a work and also studies in the university, but all right. I would like to add that I still struggle with communication with people. I just don't really know sometimes what to expect from people, what people expect from me. I just feel like I have a barrier between me and others. And when I watched Otis, I was like, wow, everything is relatable. I would partially agree with my own point, so I would say that, yeah, I have hard time fitting in personally, but I'm not personally a neurodivergent officially. But I noticed that many people are. Here's like one more common thing, which is probably not as brutal as being bullied or being neurodivergent. It's like collecting macabre things. So I would say that it's a common tendency that I've noticed a lot online. I don't really know if it's a trend among GOTHs at this point, or if it's like something that we are naturally inclined to as GOTH. There are like terms like GOTH and Gothic. So GOTH is like the fan of the GOTH music and the part of the subculture, while Gothic is like a person who enjoys Gothic aesthetics, Gothic like style, maybe Gothic movies, literature, whatever. They are not necessarily the same thing. So you can be GOTH and not really a macabre kind of GOTH, and while you can be Gothic and not really into the GOTH subculture and GOTH music, but while many GOTHs do tend to be more GOTHs and Gothic, if it makes sense. So many of us who listen to GOTH music, we are also macabre and we enjoy this side of life, we enjoy this kind of movies, literature, etc. So I would say that it's common. Many people do collect macabre stuff. And what I mean by that, it could be animal skulls, it could be photos of dead animals, it could be also dried flowers. One could argue that dried flowers is not like as brutal as dead animal skulls, but it's still kind of unusual. I don't know if it's a trend. I noticed some people, especially GOTH, they talk about it on their TikToks that they like to collect dry flowers. They say don't give flowers to a girl because she will throw them away. But then they're like, no, we won't ever throw them away. We will just keep them somewhere. And I got into this habit. I started collecting dry flowers. I'm not a fan of flowers, but I do like collecting dry flowers. I started doing that just because I was curious if this could change my perception of flowers. And it kind of does. It's kind of unique. I don't have dead animal skulls. Like many GOTHs do have like closets dedicated to like animal skulls. This is very unique. As for photos of dead animals, so it's like unusual. I was talking about that with my GOTH friend. Texted her with the question like folks, because I just so happened to witness the death of these folks. Obviously it's important to clarify. So we don't abuse animals in any way. I would say many GOTHs, on the other hand, they are against animal abuse very strongly. So we're not animal abusers, we're just people that enjoy macabre side of things. And I had a fox photo on my phone. I won't be putting it here, no, but I have it, and I was like, am I a creep? And she's like, well, I have lots of photos of dead animals as well, so I guess it's kind of like normal. Like, for example, probably the Corn girly pop band, the lead singer is known to have a collection of like serial killer stuff, I guess. So he's not actually GOTH. Of course, he's not GOTH, obviously, but he's a metal singer, and metal is kind of like somewhat relevant to GOTH scene because many metal has also love skulls, they also love macabre topics. I mean, it's probably like a poor argument, but I know that he used to collect the serial killer stuff. It's kind of a unique habit. I don't actually see anything wrong about it. One could argue about romanticization of serial killers, about romanticization of evil stuff, but people. If we romanticize this stuff, it's not like there are going to be more crimes and more morbid things happening in this world. We'll just try to kind of treat it in a more casual way. We just kind of try to accept it as a normal side of life, which it is a normal side of life. The next thing is being into occultic and witchy beliefs. I don't know if it's 100% relevant to me. It's 100% relevant to my friend. She's like a witch and she practices witchcraft. In my case, I haven't got into witchcraft yet. I was thinking about it, but I don't know. It's like, the thing is, I'm a highly pragmatic person, so it's like a controversy about goths in general. I don't really care that much about religion, like I was saying in the previous video, but at the same time, as goths, as fans of supernatural, we do love many witchy, many occultic beliefs, many darker beliefs, aesthetics of Satanism and occultism. So many of us are naturally into this kind of stuff. Some of us practice witchcraft. I don't know if all the people believe into it seriously. Some people might just do it for fun. I don't know. Many of us are also into tarot telling, into some kind of witchy practices. I don't actually practice witchcraft, but I love this aesthetic so much. I was kind of interested like darker religions in occultism and Satanism. I was reading, I was watching videos about it, but I'm not personally any of that. I just love reading about it because I find it so romantic for me personally, but I just don't really believe in any of that. And the last thing, being nice, friendly, and polite. So, did you expect this to be a thing for goths? But it is the thing for goths because we love contrasting our image of being, cute puppies. And sadly, I've heard that some goths have no other way in society but to be, overly polite in public places, to, avoid being discriminated and fight for being viewed as a normal person. We're also cute pies by nature. We are often misunderstood for our interests, so people think like, you're creep if you like skulls, you're creep if you like death topics, if you like horror movies, if you like vampires, witches or something, if you want to look like a creep, but no, actually very gentle inside. Many of us very sentimental, very sensitive inside, so it's personally relatable to me, it's relatable to the goths I know, it's relatable to many people online I see. So yeah, we're like very cute people. And I genuinely believe that. And alright, there are some toxic goths, obviously. There are some probably depressed goths, but I don't think that being depressed is like a common tendency among goths, because like, where the hell did you take this idea from? We're not depressed. Even if goths were depressed at some particular periods of times, I don't think it was a general tendency, because we were just freaks that like self-expressing, to just being kind of more open about our interests, like showing them in our appearance, and being kind of just morbid and darkly inclined openly. So it doesn't mean that we are bad people, not at all. So many of us are really soft and gentle. I think that's it for today. Have a nice day or something. So I'm an awkward person. I have hard time. I normally often wish something nice to people because of my job. I'm an English teacher. Yeah, I'm an English teacher, yeah. Maybe an unusual, but obviously I don't dress like that for my English classes, but yeah, I'm an English teacher. I always have to wish something for people when I say goodbye to them, so yeah, just, I don't know, have a good time, and see you later in my next videos, and yeah, bye-bye, maybe, maybe someday I'll think of something more unique, but like, see you later.